What's up, everybody? Welcome to a Thursday edition of The Squeeze. I am Tyler Conium. Thursday, June the 29th already. How the hell is it June 29th? We are almost into July. It seems like just yesterday, the NBA and the NHL playoffs were kicking off. We've now had the NBA draft. We've now had the NHL draft. And we're about to open free agency and start it all over again. But it's interesting how quickly it does go, especially when you do this every day and you just kind of roll from one sport right into the next, and you've got CFL and WNBA and all that. So good start to the week. We started the week yesterday on Wednesday because I was off the first half of the week, and we started it with the old broomski, a nice little sweep yesterday. And man, it really wasn't even all that close. We had Texas to be leading after 5 innings. It was 6-0. We had the Washington Mystics to win by 4.5. They won by 23. And we had under between the Sparks and the Sky, and it went well under there. So a nice day, nice way to start the week. 3-0. I've got 2 more WNBA bets and an MLB bet today. Before I get to those bets, just want to talk about this QR code and the link in the description below. Use the code, use the link, sign up for one of my favorite sports books, make at least a minimum deposit. You're guaranteed the best exclusive offers or bonuses thanks to my partnership with Betstamp and with these books. So again, use the QR code or use the link, sign up for one of the books, make a minimum deposit. You're going to get the best bonuses. You're going to get the best offers. If you're going to sign up for the books anyway, you might as well get a bunch of bonuses, a bunch of free bets, bonus bets, I think they call them now, and really take advantage of the fact that, take your 20, 30, 40, 50, however many dollars you want to put in there and stretch it as long as you possibly can. So use the link for that. Okay, let's get to it. Today we're going to start with a barn burner of a matchup in the WNBA. You've got the 2 best teams. You've got the New York Liberty visiting the Las Vegas Aces. New York comes into this game 10-3. Vegas comes into this game 13-1. New York 7-6 against the spread. Vegas 7-7 against the spread. New York 8-5 to the over. Las Vegas 8-6 to the over. What am I going to do here? I'm going to take the under. I also don't love the fact that, Vegas is -6.5. You could take New York on the spread there. It's not a terrible bet, but I have no idea really how this is going to go. I just think that this game is going to go under. The total is high. It's 174.5. for -110, and that's at Caesars. And I just think the way that these teams play defense, it's going to be hard for this game to go over. When you look at their recent games, and again, these are more over teams. You have, New York just went over against Connecticut. They went over against Washington. They went over against Atlanta. But that was a 30-point win, an 8-point overtime win, and an 8-point win against Connecticut. And then you look at Vegas. They just most recently went under against Indiana, but then they went over against Indiana, over against Phoenix. They beat Indiana by 23. They beat Phoenix by 20. This should be a close basketball game by all accounts, which means I think that this game will go under. A total of 174.5 means you're looking at, 87 points each, which I think is going to be tough. You've got the 2nd-ranked defense from Las Vegas. You've got the 5th-ranked defense from New York. The potential is there for both teams to score on the 3-point line. That's sort of what I'm banking on not happening, because New York is ranked number 1 in 3-point percentage. Vegas's defense, that's where they struggle. They're ranked 7th there. And then Las Vegas's offense is ranked 2, right behind New York in 3-point percentage, while the New York defense is ranked 9th. So if they start shooting the lights out, then it's very likely that this game could go over, but I still think that's just such a big number. There's 2 teams are used to playing at such a high pace because they're just kind of running it down the throats of their opponents, which they're not going to be able to do today. So I think you're going to have a harder fought battle. I think you're going to have a closer game. This is going to be sort of playoff atmosphere. These are the 2 favorites to win the WNBA championship this year. You've got a lot of star power on the court as well. So I'm looking for this to be a defensive matchup. So give me under 174.5 for -110 at Caesars. Moving to the Indiana Fever versus the Phoenix Mercury. Look, Phoenix is terrible. They're the worst team in the WNBA. They're 2-11. Indiana's not great. They're 5-9, but Indiana's 8-4-2 against the spread this season, while Phoenix is just 3-10 ATS. So when Phoenix is losing, they are losing bad. And when Indiana's winning, or at least when they're underdogs, they're at the very least covering the spread. So I've got Indiana's just -3.5 here, so just over a 3-point bucket. I've got this at DraftKings. Have they played? They've played once this year. It was on June 11th, and it was a 3-point win for Phoenix. So you might say, well, but then previous to that, actually Phoenix has won the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Phoenix has won 9 of the last 10 matchups. I'm still taking Indiana here. I like Indiana. They are on a 2-game losing streak. They lost by 8, they lost by 13, but both those games were against Vegas. And Vegas has been blowing teams out of the water. Before those 2 games, Indiana was 5-7. They were around a 500 club. Vegas had been, winning by 13, 14, 15 points. So for it to be a 13-point win and an 8-point win is actually not too bad. Then you look at Phoenix. They've lost 9 of 10 basketball games. They've lost by 15, 23, 20, 18, 19, 15. Then they won by 3. They lost by 13. They lost by 5. They lost by 6. But the last 6 games, they are getting absolutely decimated. They're also dealing with a ton of injuries. Cunningham, Petty, Gustafson, Diggins-Smith, all out. No injuries to report for Indiana. In Phoenix, they are dead last. Sorry, they're dead last in points per game at 76. They're dead last in rebounds per game. Indiana's just a better basketball team, even though they're on the road. I still like them to cover. It's only -3.5, so give me the Indiana Fever -3.5 for -110 at DraftKings. And for your last bet of the day, we're going to switch to Major League Baseball. We've got Zach Greinke going for the Kansas City Royals. So if you've been following along with the squeeze, you know when Greinke's on the road, bet against him. When Greinke's at home, you can bet on him. I'm going to do that today. It's not so tried and true this year because Greinke is 1-8 with a 5.31 ERA. But nevertheless, he still has been much better at home. He's 1-3, but he's only given up 3.77 runs at home versus an ERA of 6.15 of an ERA on the road. Now, I just like Kansas City plus 0.5 here in the first 5 innings. This is -114 at FanDuel. So I just have the Kansas City Royals not to be losing. If this game is tied, we're good. I just don't have Kansas City to be losing this game after 5 innings, and I like Zach Greinke there in this start at home. You look at Shane Bieber, who's going for Cleveland today on the road. He's 1-3 with a 4.58. His ERA is almost twice what it is at home, where he's 4-2 with a 2.51. In Bieber's most recent starts, he's given up 4 runs in 5 innings to Milwaukee. He gave up 5 earned runs at Arizona in 7 1/3. Previous to that on the road against Baltimore, he gave up 7 runs. So Bieber has not pitched great on the road as of late. Zach Greinke has been much better at home. When you look at his most recent starts at home, it was against LA. He went 5 innings. He did give up 4. But previous to that, he gave up 2 against Cincinnati. He gave up 1 against Detroit. He's pitched a lot more on the road than he has at home this season. But I think that the Kansas City Royals, they're a bad baseball team. Cleveland, unfortunately, isn't much better. I have them on a ticket to win the World Series this year. They're 39-40. Kansas City's brutal, but I just think they can, at the very least, keep it close enough, keep it tied through the first 5 innings. They can blow it later if they want. I don't care. But I'll take the Kansas City Royals plus 0.5 for -114 at FanDuel. Just a reminder again, use that QR code, use the link in the description below. You can sign up at Caesars, DraftKings, or FanDuel to get the best exclusive offers and sign-up bonuses by using the code or the link below. Just to run that card back, I've got the Las Vegas Aces and the New York Liberty to go under 174.5. That's -110 at Caesars. I've got the Indiana Fever -3.5. Sorry, Indiana Fever. I've got the Indiana Fever -3.5 for -110 at DraftKings, and I've got the Kansas City Royals plus 0.5 in the first 5 innings, -114 at FanDuel. As always, drop a comment if you're fading or following. You can follow me on Twitter at Tyler Conium for more plays and to talk sports throughout today. Apple and Spotify for your audio versions. Have a great Thursday, and let's talk sports.